Good morning. It's Tuesday, September 10th, about 6 a.m. Central Time. Overnight, the precious metals are slightly higher after Monday's broad-based no news is good news type recovery. Looking at the overnight price action, you got December gold up $2 at $25.35. The price action on gold has really been significantly contained recently, with the average true range sliding down to about $33 per day over the past month. If you go back to August 5th, it was about $44 a day, and since then, volatility has really squeezed out of that market. Make sure if you're taking a technical-based approach on this, you do throw average true range on your chart, because a lot of times it gives you help with stop placement and things like that. Now looking at the silver futures, up about 13 cents at 28.78. That chart pattern continues to more mimic the likes of copper rather than gold, with the recent price action I would describe as more of a mess between $28 and $29. I think that a break on either side of that will probably dictate what the next trend is going to be. So some things that I'm watching here, a couple things. We do have the presidential debate tonight. Two markets we're going to watch are the U.S. equities and also the oil market. Tonight could really be a pivotal moment in the campaign for either or. So what we're really looking at here, is there any kind of change on policy stance which can impact the direction of U.S. equities, which are unchanged here as of the moment, and then also crude oil futures. If they talk about domestic oil production, green energy initiatives, also a hard stance on something like Iran, it could cause some gyrations in the oil market, which was down about 1% in the overnight session and seems to be anchored right at about $68. So also looking at NASDAQ volatility here with a couple things, that Google was fined, and also Apple loses a court battle of about $14 billion tax bill over in Ireland. So we didn't see much of an impact overnight, but just about a 100-point range in that NASDAQ market. Some other standouts, you do have soybeans down about 1% here at 10.05. And then again, your other metals here, copper down 1 and platinum unchanged. So a couple other things here to watch. Tropical storm Francine, it could impact some of the supplies in the Gulf of Mexico as far as oil and refined products. On its expected track, it could impact about 9 major platforms here. So we'll want to monitor for any kind of supply disruptions from that tropical storm, which was just upgraded to a hurricane. So looking at what's coming out here today, we don't have much here. We've got this small business index. You got two FOMC members are going to be speaking here today. So looking at the CME's Fed Watch tool, it's still about a 73% chance that the Fed only cuts 25 basis points, 27% chance that the Fed cuts 50 basis points. Now tomorrow we're going to see much more explosive volatility, I expect, in that gold market. It's really going to, I think, dictate whether we get that breakout over 25.50 and we start to threaten those all-time highs, or do we have a setback here? And the key level you really want to watch here, as some of the price action is starting to rise up, don't get so over emotional if you're starting to feel like you're missing it, because of the fact that I think that with the suppressed volatility, we might see a small spike up, and you might get those shots at adding closer to that 2,500 to 2,506, where that pocket support remains. The 50-day moving average down at 24.82, I think, is your critical level support, and you don't want to see price action trade below that. Now looking at the silver market, again, like I said, I would describe it more as a mess between $28 and $29, because if we break below 28, the chances are we're going to probably test the 200-day moving average at 27.45. I've been advising people, because of the seasonal weakness that we see in the silver market, to be more patient and wait for that kind of retest here before sticking your toe in the water and adding more positions. Now I think that there's quite a bit of overhead resistance on the silver market, with 29.56 being the 50-day moving average, 30.04 being the trend reversal point. And really, if that trend reversal point triggers, it doesn't bring it back up to a bull trend. It just changed it more to a neutral trend. Really, you got to get over about 30.54 before you get that breakout, and that's going to be those August 25, 26 highs, and then above there we can make a run for something like 32.50. But it's going to take a lot of muscle and a lot of firepower to get silver prices up that high. You're going to need probably some directional change in China, because of the fact that their economy has really been slumping. Remember, they are the second largest economy. They are one of the largest consumers of the silver market. Almost everything that you own, everything down to your iPhones and things like that, much of that demand comes from China, and much of that demand here is going to impact that silver market, especially on electronics and bullion sales and things like that. So you really want to see a pickup in their economy in order to get that 1-2 punches going as far as silver prices rising. So You got any questions, you give me a call. I'm hoping that prices actually pull back just a bit here, either on the gold market, on the silver market. That way we can reload back to the upside. And then also I've been playing, because of the fact that China is very impactful on things like soybeans and things like copper, things like crude oil, we've had more of a negative bias on those particular markets here, and they acted as great hedges against some of these long precious metals. You got any questions, give me a call, 312-858-7303. Remember, futures and options trading does involve risk of loss. May not be suitable to all investors. Good luck, good trading.